That's not what they just testified to. You just heard sworn testimony from multiple adjusters, and they said it happened. One adjuster had only ever worked for you over years in the industry, and he said he was repeatedly directed by you, by your company, Allstate, to change factual findings, to delete material in his reports, to alter his reports, to make them factually incorrect, all with the purpose of driving down the award and padding your profits.
I disagree with this statement.
Well, you know, I have to notice that, I mean, your profits have never been better. I mean, they're really quite extraordinary. Fiscal year 24, Allstate had $64 billion in revenue. That's 12% above the previous year. You made $4.6 billion in profits. And your CEO, Tom Wilson, last year was paid $26 million. Now, Ms. Miguel can't get her claim paid out, but Tom Wilson, whoever the heck he is, gets $26 million. I mean, that's really extraordinary. Do you not have the money to pay people like Ms. Miguel? Why is she not a priority, but Tom Wilson's salary is?
We paid Ms. Miguel's claim.
That's a crazy clip and obviously very intense. But the line of questioning I want to start with real quick is what? Because most of the people commenting are like, "There's nothing going to happen with this, though." Because this is a deeper question, deeper question of like, do these things ever turn into anything? Like when there's like this big, show, dog and pony show in the Senate or whatever, what does this lead to? Does it lead to any real reform? And do you believe that anything will be done with this basically?
Not quickly. If anybody follows that Senate committee and Senator Hawley and everybody who does all that, there's been some great clips. And I think the best thing is that it's public, like there's YouTube clips, there's social media clips that are all visible. And if you watch the whole thing, it's a very interesting story to follow. But anytime it is going to be government related, it tends to move slow. I mean, look at some of the other ones they've done this year. They did the airlines, they did credit card companies and their fees and their interest rates and everything. Has anybody seen a change in the airlines? Has anybody seen a change in the credit card fees? No. They may not see that for a year or two. They may not see it ever. I would encourage people that these things move slow. But what this does is it makes the consumer more aware of these things. And they may be more cautious about the providers they select, the credit cards they choose, the airlines they fly with. So these Senate sessions, these committee sessions being publicly viewed, at least create the awareness and they're on YouTube. If you start Googling and searching, like you can find these things. So for that in and of itself, I think that the consumers get to hear these stories and these testimonies, whereas previously we weren't exposed to that. So,
Right. Just like you apologized to Miss Miguel, right? I mean, it's really extraordinary. You're asking us to look at all the evidence and don't believe our lying eyes, right? I mean, just ignore the fact that your company has over and over and over again been sanctioned, lost lawsuits, paid out multi-million-dollar verdicts, all for this exact same thing: falsifying reports, interfering with adjusters' reports, hiring firms to send in false estimates, all to pad your profits. And you're just sitting here saying it never happens. Don't believe it. It's an alternate reality, isn't it?
I don't believe so, no.
On what basis? What world do you live in?
On the basis that I lead this organization every day.
Right, which means you're responsible for it. Which is why I can't believe you wouldn't come in here and take responsibility for what your company is doing. I can't believe you wouldn't turn around and say to Ms. Miguel, we will make this right no matter what. And I can't believe you won't take responsibility for the fact that your company, as we've heard from sworn testimony, is continuing to engage in this behavior, and now is also engaging in retaliation.
I also have been told, cannot confirm this, somebody knows the adjuster, one of the two adjusters that was in this room, and they were told all of their Allstate assignments were removed after that, after being told that was not going to happen. So, there's a lot more to come of that within the industry.
Person referenced, do you retaliate against whistleblowers?
No, we do not.
This witness says, and I quote, "It is also my professional concern that whistleblower retaliation is a very real threat within the state farm system. Others before me have experienced severe consequences for speaking out, and I have reason to believe similar retaliation could result in the end of my ability to work in this industry," end quote. What's your response to that?
So again, I can't speak to the specifics because the individual is not here, or I don't know of those specifics, but it's inconsistent with the State Farm that I know and that I've experienced for 32 years.
It's amazing to me that both of your testimonies are very consistent in one respect, which is that it's a sudden case of amnesia before this committee. You've never heard of any of this stuff that's happened. You're unfamiliar with your own company. In your case, Mr. Fiato, before like yesterday, there's no knowledge whatsoever. I have to say, it's awfully convenient. That witness, that sworn testimony, that oath, it's amazing how often it produces amnesia up at these hearings. Sadly, your policyholders don't have it, and they're suffering because of it.
How soon that committee could make change. Insurance moves slow too. Like the amount of regulation you have to go through to change things, change structures, change policies, change requirements is just slow. I know I'm working in states on legislation with people now, but it's good that it's publicly viewed and like homeowners and consumers and property owners can go see it.
Two more questions. One is, okay, so somebody told them to deny claims. You know, like I think there's always plausible deniability from leadership at these insurance companies. And so from your point of view, and I don't know if you feel comfortable asking this, but how far does that go up? And can they always maintain plausible deniability at the level of like the higher level leadership of these corporations?
Yeah. So first, anybody should watch that whole set. And Doug Quinn talks about when that really started activating, when a consulting group came in to really educate insurance carriers on how they could use their claim centers as profit centers. He does mention that group in there. So to a certain extent, this knowledge is
McKinsey, I think, right?
Yeah, it was the McKinsey group. Yep. So to a certain extent, it is at the top.
Our next witness is Mr. Doug Quinn. Mr. Quinn is the executive director of the American Policyholder Association, which is a nonprofit that tracks and reports fraud committed by insurers against their policyholders. Mr. Quinn, it's good to have you. The floor is yours.
Insurers are shielded by plausible deniability that the engineers commit the fraud, but the insurers are the ones driving it. They continue to use U.S. forensics and other fraudsters. Insurers play the same shell game with adjusters. Many adjusters inspecting homes aren't employed by the insurer, but rather by third-party administrators. They technically a separate company. These TPAs are simply alter egos of the insurers and commit the same fraud the engineers do. Trained adjusters write an honest estimate only to be instructed to alter and delete facts by a reviewer.
But there's also just so many layers by the time you get to the bottom. Let's say that desk adjuster's threshold is $10,000. Like that's all he can approve. So he approves that and moves on instead of like going through layers of supervisors. So is that $10,000 there to create those barriers? Sure. I wouldn't want a bunch of, people that are 30 days in writing checks for 200,000. So there's just so many layers in there. Do I think that they're aware that's going on? Yes, I think you can look at your year to year data and see what you're paying out on claims. And you probably have they're data-driven companies. They have to know something, right? But you can then break that down to it's not my fault. So many layers that, yes, there's kind of this plausible deniability up top and really hard to point the finger that, yeah, the CEO didn't go, hey, deny this claim, give them $25,000, not $237,000. So it's a massive disconnect.
Those aware of the fraud are afraid to speak out, and for good reason. In this regard, insurers are like gangsters. Those who speak out get blacklisted, harassed, and sued.
So one of the comments was around, hey, you guys are talking shit about us as insurance companies. This is obviously a pissed off adjuster that was like frustrated. He's like, well, where I see it is these exact circles on these roofs that I'm adjusting. And obviously there's something that was created as damage by roofers. So this is hearsay from an adjuster.
Vandalism, man-made damage.
Vandalism.
Yeah.
So
okay.
That's a relevant question that comes up at the same time of this. And it's not like a real conversation about this topic without acknowledging that there is some vandalism.
Sure. I'm going to say that everybody's mama probably told them 2 wrongs don't make a right. Okay. Like just because there's carrier fraud doesn't mean it's okay to have contractor fraud. Just because there's contractor fraud doesn't mean it's okay to have carrier fraud, right? Like anything like malicious acts shouldn't be going on, right? The contractors that do that are pieces of shit. I get sent videos weekly that people have recorded. And I'm coming after 2 specific states to track down vandalism because it's got to go away. It's grossly inflating the claim world. And if those claim dollars weren't being spent, an argument could be made that, yeah, they would be more willing to pay out the legitimate claims because of the reserves and claim dollars and this, that, and the other, all math stuff not to get into. So I think that those comments, anybody should agree. Yeah, contractors do it. Okay. And it also should be flushed out. Okay. But the reality is this: go find the videos. They do sting operations on contractors and get them caught on video all the time. The stinger operations and the ability to do special investigation on insurance companies are few and far between. All right. So if we have those contractors getting sting operations and we can find them, those are the stories that hit. And those are stories that blow up. Those are the kind of things that go viral naturally. But you go back to the other question you asked, like, do they know? There's kind of this veil that, they don't really know up top, right? That it's not systemic, that's not planned on the carrier side. But then it's very broadcast on the contractor side. I think both are absolutely terrible, malicious things being done in the industry and need to go away. Yes, contractors do some crappy things. Last week, I got sent 4 videos of people creasing shingles and 2 videos of people manufacturing hail damage that we're collecting to be able to go back and fight this and present this to state, present this to legislation, present why contractors need some regulation too. Both sides need watched.
Yeah, that's what I usually think. I usually think that the corporation has a lot of great people lobbying for them, and the contractors, yes. But I also am scared to talk so directly like you just did because I don't want to alienate people, and I don't. So I'm glad that you said it. But I agree. I don't think, God, it makes it harder for legitimate people if you're doing that stuff. I just can't say it as forcefully as you because I think you have the most context. But
I'm also
glad you said it.
Consulted on it. Like, I've had to go investigate vandalism. Like, I've had to be that person to consult and provide an opinion back on what was going on those things. So yeah, I've witnessed it, right? I've 100% witnessed it. I've also witnessed adjusters underpay things. I've also witnessed adjusters say, hey, this isn't enough, we need more. And I've witnessed adjusters damage roofs to try and get them paid for. Like, and that shouldn't go on either, right? Fair's fair. Like, so man, it's all over the radar.
That part's confusing to me. It's like I still feel like a noob when if I ever saw that, for instance, that would make me confused. Like, I'm confused by that, which I guess I shouldn't be. It's just like they're trying to make it simpler or easier or something like that.
Yeah, the adjuster essentially is making their life easier. And it's probably a skilled adjuster who knows that, look, I know what's going to happen here. I'm going to write a repair. Then you're going to send me this. Then I'm going to have to rewrite it. Then you're going to send me this. Then I'm going to rewrite it. And we're going to be four rounds. And then I'm going to have to write this full roof. And he's just thinking, how do I make my life easier? Or he's thinking, how do I take care of this customer? So there's this, every one of those situations, there's some self-justification, right? I need
honestly,
to pay,
that
I need
one,
the money,
the
the
way you
homeowner
just said
deserves
that,
this. Like,
it kind of made me think, and I'm being real here. It kind of made me think, I kind of get that one. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not, it's hard to be mad at that.
The contractors think the same thing. They get on a roof, it has like 1 or 2 damaged shingles, and they're like, well, they have to do this, but then I'm going to have to go back and forth, and the homeowners are going to be really mad at their insurance company, so I'm just going to fluff it a little bit and get some more damage up here. Like, the thoughts that go through these people's head, like, they've convinced themselves this is okay. Okay. Many of them have convinced themselves it's okay. There are ones that just need a paycheck, need commissions, need something, and they're maliciously doing it. It's malicious whether you've convinced yourself it's okay or not. It should not be going on. Like, just do the right thing. And yeah, I think that going back to the original video, it's visible. We have plenty of videos where contractors are caught vandalizing and damaging that are posted on the local news. Avoid this contractor, this, that, and the other. And this, these Senate sessions with Hawley are great because the public eye gets to see those things. And I appreciate that. The contractor's already in the public eye, so both of them need to be cleaned up. But yeah, the consumer should be very aware of what's really going on.
Where can people check you out?
Social media's platforms, John the Roof Pro for everything except for Facebook. That's John Senac. Check out my Facebook group, Name That Roofing, Siding, and More. And then my group with Chris, Master Your Craft. We'd love to see you on any of those groups, especially if you're in the roofing space. We'd love to see you in those groups.
Awesome. Thank you, sir.
We know we have such a great relationship with you for a long time, but it's not just, hey, I'm going to do some SEO. It's like you always ask a way to give more than what's asked for. Kudos to you, and you can see the results because now you're exposed to, we're $50 million, we're exposed to a $500 million business. So that's all because of your great work, man. If you didn't have customers' experience at heart, that would never happen.
The results have been great. We do as much as we can on our side to help. You guys have done an absolutely enormous job.